Uh, Good morning, everyone. The meeting is going to start in few minutes. Please give us a few minutes.
वीडियो ओपन होगा नमस्कार you cannot start your video because of host has disabled.
I'm not visible anything.
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Please start.
Mr. Mahesh?
Let's start the session. Audio mute ಮಾಡಿರಿ.
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible. You can go. Yeah, you can go ahead. You're audible.
I request our principal, Professor S.T. Mishi sir, to welcome and give a plenary speech on our webinar.
Honorable Speaker of today's webinar, Sri H.V. Vishesh, participants from various states of India, faculty members, and my dear students friends. Good morning to one and all. I offer a very heartily welcome to you all these live national webinars organized by the Department of Geology, KD Society, JT College, Gadag, as an IQAC initiative. Firstly, I heartily welcome today resource persons, Sri H.V. Vishwesh, Director of ARIVU Skill Development Academy Hubballi, who accepted our invitations and jointly as us in these webinars. I also offer welcome to all the participants who have joined us from the across the country, and also I welcome all the staff of the JT Parivar. Once again, I warm welcome to one and all to this national webinars. Dear participants, the COVID-19 has resulted in the college being set all across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion children are out of the classrooms. As a result, education has changed dramatically with distance rise of e-learnings, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. In response to significant demands, many online learning platforms are often free across to their service. There is an evidence that learning online can be more effective in a number of ways. Some research shows that on an average, students retain 25.60% more materials when learning online compared to only 10 to 10% in classrooms. This is the mostly due to the students being able to learn faster online. E-learning requires 40 to 60% less time to learn than traditional classrooms settings because students can learn at their own pace. The most important benefit of digital learning is that it provides the educations a chance to design the course curriculum based on the fees and ability of each individual students. These webinars carry a
डिपार्टमेंट लाइब्रेरी देख रहा
message to all participants to include the base
फैसिलिटी
teachings methods ICT in all the fields of life for its settlements. With this, I conclude my talk. Thank you, one and all.
Sir, for your informative welcome and plenary speech. I request Professor H. Emnappa, HOD of the Department of Zoology, to introduce our today's resource person of this webinar, Shri H.V. Vishwesh, Director, ARIVU Skill Development Academy, Hubli.
यूट्यूब पे चल
Professor Enumapa, sir, you are not audible. Professor Enumapa, sir, you are not audible. Please unmute. Professor Emunappa, you are not audible, sir. You are not audible, sir. Professor Emunappa, sir, please unmute your audio. Please, yes.
Okay. Sir held the different positions like a senior product manager, group product manager, deputy manager in JDS Cadilla at Ahmedabad. Sir worked as a head of the department of HR and training and brand management in Rampersad based at Mumbai. Sir presently as a founder director of RU Skill Development Academy, Hubli, and Mysore and Bangalore different branches are there. Sir interacted with around 12,000 students across the country and in the different universities, about 10 universities, 250 faculty members, help in design the need-based life skills learning models. Sir is a good trainer, trained so far more than 6,000 students in the UG and PG students, and also research scholars through RU Academy to help to get their desired jobs. Sir presently training 800 students of a campus to corporate program. Sir presently in Excel Incorporation, that is import and promotion of niche medical device from France, Germany, and United States. Sir having many positions and many skills are there, which is helpful to many students and get a benefit from this, sir. And I thank sir as a chief guest and also resource person, and we are happy to have such a valuable person to address our participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, without further ado, we'll turn the time over to our resource person, Shri H.V. Vishwesh, Director, ARIVU Skill Development Academy, Hubli. Over to Vishwesh, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I start, I would request the host there to mute all and then unmute me, because I see many people talking now. My request is to the host, mute all and then unmute my mic. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Am I audible? Please put it in the chat box. Am I audible? Put it in the chat box. Am I audible? If
yes, sir. You are audible, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now it's an immense pleasure to be a part of this webinar, which is a national level webinar being conducted by the KLE Society's JT College, Gadar. And I'm thankful to the organizers and especially the principal, the staff for conducting this webinar. And number two, I'm thankful because they have taken a very, very important topic at this point in time to discuss for today. Today, I'm going to discuss about something which is very important from the viewpoint of education, both the teacher and the taught. Before that, I want you to be participants. Before I start my presentation or before I start my talk on the subject given to me, I would like to have an activity. Are you ready for activity? If yes, please type yes in the chat box. If you're ready for activity, it's an activity of just 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and I want everyone to participate in this. Now, what I want you to do is, please see my Mentimeter. Can you see the chat box? I'm just going to give you a website address. Please, Mentimeter.com. Please, I've just given it in the chat box. Mentimeter. I want you to type www.mentimeter.com. Have you done that? If yes, if you have done, please say yes. Okay. Have you done it? Okay. Have you done it? Type the website www.mentimeter.com in your internet. Go to your internet and type this, and you will get a page. Have you got it? If you have got the page, at least type yes, few of the yeses. Okay. Now I'm going to, on the top of the website, the first line that what you get is you need to enter a code. You need to enter a code. I'm going to give you a code. Please enter that code. The code is 1073188. Again, I'm going to repeat. It's a 7-digit code. 7-digit code. The code is 1073188. Have you entered? Yeah. If yes, please. Okay. Have you entered the code? Once you, yes. Okay. Now what I want is, there is a question. Now read that question. Read that question. If given an option, which teaching learning method you would prefer, you just start voting. Either you pick digital or classroom. And already people have started. Very good. One person has already clicked. I want you to click digital. Okay. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Amazing. People are, oh, wow. Lovely. People are participating. There is a tug of war between digital learning and classroom learning. My God. Amazing. It's open. A few more minutes. A few more seconds. Please vote. Wow. Yeah. Another 20, 25 seconds. Please. Okay. We have got. Yeah. I'm going to give this, leave it for. Oh, very good. Very good. Another voter. I think we have started voting. Wow. Given an option, which teaching learning method would you prefer? My God. There is starting, there was a tug of war between digital and classroom, and now one is overtaken by another. I will show you the result when it is over. Okay, great. I'm going to leave this for 10 more seconds, and I'm going to move on to the next question. Okay, great. I think some of them have participated. Thank you very much. See the next one. I'm going to show the next one. The next one is, are you aware of blended learning? The options are yes or no. Just tick mark any one. Are you aware of blended learning? Wow, amazing, wonderful. People have started voting. No, oh great, yes, no, yes, no. Again, wow. No, 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 yes, no, yes, no. Great, great. Please, please vote. Wow, now equal, my God. Amazing. Yes, no, yes, no, please. Another 10, 12 seconds. Are you aware of blended learning? Wow, that's great. That's great. That's great. Now, thank you very much. I will show you the results now. Now, let me come back to my, excuse me, my humble request to people is please mute your audios. Please mute your audio. Now, friends, I'm going to show you the result now. You want to see the results? What you, how much people scored and who won? Which, of course, let's see the result. Let me share the results with you. Okay. Can you see can you see my screen now? If you're seeing, say yes. Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. Now, amazing. Amazing. Now, out of the people that who voted, 13 of the people, I don't know who are there, whether they are students or the professors or lecturers or teachers, 13 of them, they are, or they would prefer digital learning. That's an amazing mindset. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's great. So digital learning has really overtaken the classroom learning. That's what. My request to people is please mute your audios. Host, please mute all and then unmute me. My request. Please mute your audio. Redmi, mute your audio. Okay. Now, this is the mindset of the people. Most of the people, of course, there are people who okay. Now, let me go to the second one. Want to see the second one? Do you know blended learning? See, 50% of the people who are here, they know what is blended learning, and 50% of them, they do not know. So now, I think 50% of them, they have said they don't know what is blended learning, and 50% that yes, they know what is blended learning. That's an amazing. Now, when I take through this session of blended learning, I would certainly want people who said that they know blended learning, I want them to participate then and there. Okay, that's a great news, because 50% of you know and 50% of you do not know. Now, why I did this? Of course, let me come back to my presentation. Now, why I did this? I just wanted to understand what is the mindset of the people who attend any sessions. Now, if you attend a session with a mindset, the presenter or the host or the person who's going to talk to you should know what you want and what you do not want. And this is the first step towards e-learning. That's what I thought. So that is the reason why I did this small exercise of, getting your mindset. Just imagine if this mindset is taken into a classroom every day. Now you would understand what the students want on that particular day, and that is what you're going to discuss. In fact, you create that, enthusiasm in them if you know what is the mindset of the students, and that's an amazing thing. That's great. Now, many people said, in fact, the digital learning is what you think that is the one you prefer. I'm happy because I conducted a seminar, a webinar 1.5 months back on e-learning, only specifically e-learning. When I did a survey on that particular day like this. For your information, out of 200 people, 150 people told no, classroom learning is better than e-learning. Now, then I said, beginning of the session, this was your mind. And at the end of the session, I again took the poll. After completing my e-learning session, I took the poll again. That again, 200 people gave me a different verdict. Again, 120 people wanted this digital learning, and only 80 people wanted classroom. So that is the mindset change that they had. So today also, I have an opportunity to discuss one of the most important aspects of education. Now, let me start my presentation. I have a small presentation. During the presentation, my humble request is, if you don't understand anything, put it in the chat box, number one. And if you want more information, put it in the chat box again, what you want. And if I ask something, because do you know this, do you know this, or do you know that, you put it in the chat box that you know or you do not know. That will help me to understand what exactly you want. Now, let me go to the presentation. Can you see the presentation? If yes, please. Can you see the presentation? Yes, I think so. You're seeing the presentation. Yeah, host, can you just unmute and tell me whether the presentation is visible? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Sir, visible,
now,
sir. Clearly visible.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, let me get into my presentation. Today's discussion will be on this topic, that is blend of digital learning and classroom learning for symbiotic effect. We all know what is a symbiotic effect. That is a synergistic effect. What is symbiotic effect is 1 + 1 is not 2, 1 + 1 is 11. So how good it will be when we merge two things together, two good things together. My humble request, please do not write anything. Please maintain the decorum. Please do not write anything on the screen. This is very, very unfortunate. Please do not write anything on the screen. My request. Please do not write anything on the screen. Okay. So now let's discuss this. Before I discuss this, we have been locked up. In fact, we have not visited our colleges or the classrooms, both for students as well as teachers, for almost 5 months now. And I'm damn sure that you would be cursing COVID. Not only classroom, COVID has taken a lot of things away from your life. So you have been cursing COVID since last 5 months. 5 months. If COVID, because of COVID, this is happening. Because of COVID, that is happening. Because of COVID, I'm not able to do this. Because of COVID, I'm not able to do that. But for a change, what I will do is, COVID not only has given us a lot of troubles, but COVID has given us a lot of good things as well. The positive impact of COVID is also there. If COVID was not there, I don't think many of these things would have happened to the maximum extent. What are those things? COVID has helped us to build genuine relationship. Genuine relationship means now we are together at home, father, mother, brother, sister, cousins, or grandfather, grandmother. Now you have spent quality time with them. Now you have understood each other. Mute, please. Please don't disturb. Please don't disturb. Mute your audio. The first positive is you have built your relationship. The second, okay. Now the second, am I audible? Yes. Entire lifestyle change to practice better hygiene. You understand hygiene. Hygiene means nowadays, I think, we are washing our hands, the face and other things, not less than 15 to 20 times in a day. Anything that we touch, we come and wash our hands. And this is the hygiene, which we were not doing earlier. So it has taught us the hygiene. The third one is we have done certain innovation and helped each other in our own life. People have done some amazing innovations sitting at their home. And in whatever walk of life they are into, they have done a lot of innovations. Fourth one, I'm damn sure that the computer, since it's a digital age which is getting better, many people have invested in blue chip stocks. Blue chip stocks means many people have invested their money into the information technology companies because it's all getting digitalized. The fifth of the positive is a new wave of tool and software. Tell me very frankly, how many of you knew 5 months back what a webinar is, what a Zoom is, what is a Cisco is, what is a Google Teams is? Today, many people are well versed with these tools and softwares of this. So that is what positive from COVID-19. Now it has given us a lot of positivity in this learning the tools and softwares. Remote working. Remote, no, you can't say that I can't work because sitting at your place, you can work now. That's what the world has come to know. Work from home. I think you have heard from people working from home. Many people have connected with each other in their professional world through the remote connectivity through the internet, and that's another digital innovation that has happened. So affordable real estate. If somebody was interested in buying a piece of land or estate or a house in the real estate business, this was the right time. Many people have bought there, this was the right time because the real estate was down and the buying was more than selling. Now, the eighth one, education becomes digitalized. The most important for you and me, the students and teachers, is education. Who thought that, the classes can be taken over Zoom or Google or, your Microsoft Teams, and people can learn from wherever they are sitting at their place. And that is what education, and this is where I'm going to touch upon the positives on education. And I'm very happy when I saw that 70% of the people said, yes, digital learning is far better than classroom learning. And with this mindset, I think let's take the positives inside rather than cribbing about COVID-19. And now for all this, we need to have a mindset of change. Now, many people who think that classroom learning is still far better than the e-learning, of course, for them, I would like to remind certain things. Just few years back, we never thought that bank will come to our house. We can get money, we can transact money sitting at our house. We never thought that, companies that will come to our doorstep for that is e-commerce. We can sell our products sitting at our place. Nobody thought that was e-commerce. Now, nobody thought that I can connect through different people, exchange my ideas, exchange my pleasantries, exchange my photographs or the festivities through Facebook, YouTube, your Twitter and Insta. So that is e-communication. Nobody had thought that sitting at home, you will get your vegetables. Sitting at home, you'll get your groceries. That is e-shopping. Nobody thought that, you would see news. You can watch news sitting in any corner of this world. If I'm sitting in New York, I can see what is happening in Gadag, especially in JT College, Gadag. That is what is e-news that I get. Now, even entertainment has come to your doorstep. Means the films, and nowadays, I think Amazon, Netflix, they're all releasing their new releases, films on this, and you are getting it. So all this could happen because of the E, the one word that is E in between. That is E, that is electronic. Now, who thought that 5 years down the line, these things will happen? But it is happening now. Why? Not because they were good, because I changed my mindset. I changed my mindset and I adopted to this. And now, why can't I change my mindset towards education as well? Now, this is the time to change our mindset, looking towards education. Now, let me get into this. What requires for me to get this mindset is a mindset of a change. I am very sure that many people will not like a change in their life. Means, for example, if I'm doing something, I want to do the same thing again and again. If somebody tells you, please do this way, I will not accept it immediately because I'm doing it and I'm comfortable with this. That's what they say is, known angel is better than an known devil is better than an unknown angel. But you do not know what, if you adopt this change, even bigger things are going to happen. Now, what is constant in this world is change. And if you don't change and you change your mindset, we may be lacking behind. A very example is, there are many people, they are not able to cope up with the e-world. Means they still think that, e-world is not for us. Now they are facing a lot of challenges now because all the people are going forward and they are left behind in spite of having a lot of knowledge. Now, that's the reason why my request to you people, whoever is attending this, for the next 35 to 40 minutes, I'm going to only talk about having a change in the mindset towards a better education system. Now, I would like to dwell upon education and a change of mindset in how we educate people, or for both. When it comes to education, of course, we need to look back how the education has evolved over the centuries. Now, it started with a Gurukul type of a education system where one elderly person gave general knowledge to all the pupils. Now, then we came to the classroom where one intelligent person got up and started teaching the other. Now we came to the actual classroom where we had a system of classroom, we had a system of textbooks and notebooks, everything. That's another innovation. So we adopted that change. From there, we went to the other infrastructure, modern infrastructure. It's not only classroom, we also had other extracurricular activities to evolve ourselves into the other world of our own self or talent. So we had the other infrastructures in our own colleges or schools. From there, now the era of fast, easy, and accessible. Sitting at your classroom, you can access many things over the world. So that is what the evolution. And this evolution happened not because they wanted, because you wanted a change and you adopted that change. Now, whatever if you think that I need to change, that will certainly have an effect on your working style. Now, why need to have you, those people, that 25 to 30% of the people who still think that classroom learning is still better. Now I'm addressing them also, and also the 70% who are already convinced about digital. It's not only digital. I'm not going to have only digital, because many people said that digital is not good in every place, because in the remote place, C class it is not okay, because there the people are not getting the connectivity. Anyway, we will address all this through this session. Now, with this change mindset, we have evolved ourselves in the new era. Now, what is important in all this? In all this, what was important for us is education. And for me, education is not just teaching. Again, I repeat, education is not just teaching. To me, education is learning plus doing. Now, why I changed my career? Of course, I was in the corporate world. I changed it to student development and skill development, because I saw that in the last 10 years, a lot of learning is happening, but that learning is not being able to put into practice. That is doing. What I have learned, I'm not able to put into practice. So to me, education is learning plus doing. Learning is getting marks. Doing is understanding that subject and putting it to practice in our professional world or in whatever world that we get in. So education for me is learning. So now, whatever I'm going to discuss now will be learning plus doing method of teaching or learning. So which will be helpful for both the stakeholders, that is teacher and student. I'm not addressing only the teachers or only the students. It is a mix of both. When learning happens, when there is a teacher and there is a student. Teacher teaches and student listens, and then the learning happens. So that's where, and the student starts doing the same thing. That is education. So learn by doing. Now, there are three phases I can categorize this COVID situation. Okay. Now, if I take this COVID-19 teaching and learning, how it has before COVID-19, 90%, I think, can I have your, again, what was happening before COVID-19 in teaching and learning? What exactly we followed, which method we followed? Again, you can put it in the chat box. You can put it in the chat box. Yeah. You can put it in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Yeah. What is happening? Yeah. Have you put it in the chat box? I'm not able to get the chat box here. Okay. Great. Yeah, I'm getting it now. What is happening before? Before COVID. What was happening before COVID? What was happening in terms of learning, teaching and learning? How did you learn? How did you teach before COVID? How did you teach or how did you learn before COVID? Yeah, chat. I'm not able to see any chats. I think I want, what was happening in teaching and learning methodology before COVID? I think many of you, I don't know whether you are accessing that chat box or not. Classroom, yes or no? It was mainly classroom learning. mainly classroom learning. 95% of the people learn from the classroom, and we thought that this is the best method of learning. And even the teachers thought that it is the best way of teaching students. But during COVID, in the last 5 months, it's only digital that we are looking at, only digital learning, because you are not able to come to the classroom. But at the same time, we have not stopped learning. Even though the digital world has been used only 10 to 15%, but you use digital method to reach your students, and students used the digital mode to reach their teachers and digital mode. Now, COVID is going to go off, no doubt about it. In another few months, COVID will go. Now, there will be a after effect of COVID. Now, what should happen to this teaching and learning after COVID? Now, you have understood the importance and advantages of digital learning, and already you know how important is classroom for us. Now, think about mixing these two in our education, and then after this, with so much of enriched knowledge, we are going to get into this plus this and amazing results. If we adopt this, if we adopt these two in our education now going forward, now I'm giving this because it addresses both teachers and students. Both have to be really interested to get this. Now, this is a world which nobody in the world will be a person without any knowledge. If you study anything with both the kind of learning methodology, if somebody has understood only 60% here they would understand 99%. If somebody has understood only 30% here, they would understand 99% here. If you adopt both the learning technology. And that is the reason why today I am thankful to the JT College Gadar for taking up this very important subject of this blended learning. And that's what we call it as blended learning. That blended learning is mixing both classroom as well as digital learning. Now, how do we do it? I will address in another 20-25 minutes. Before that, let's understand what are the good things about conventional learning. Chalk and talk, face to face. It is chalk and talk. It's face to face because the students are in the classroom. The third one is connect with the students emotionally. You can see emotionally what is happening with the students. Emotional attachment, whether the student is attentive, whether the student is sensitive enough to understand all these. That is emotion you can see in the classroom because it's a physical presence there. In digital, you may not see this. Okay. Effective usage of verbal and non-verbal communication. Very, very important. Verbal and non-verbal communication is very important for the teachers as well, because what I say and how I say is very important. When I send some audio through digital media, I may not be putting my non-verbal communication there because, for example, she climbed the Mount Everest. I sent an audio. If I show the same thing she climbed the Mount Everest, because I can use my non-verbal communication to have a better impact of understanding whatever I say. So this is very much important, or as a merit of conventional learning, which we do in classroom. Imparting discipline, values, and ethics. When you come to the college, there will be a lot of discipline, values, and ethics from the college that will be imparted on you. So you will come out as a very ethical person, graduated from that college, because you have a lot of values, principles, which are really good in the society. Now, increase student-teacher bonding, because why I say increase student-teacher bonding means student and teacher can meet quite often when they come to the college, and that's the biggest merit that you can. The more you meet personally, then there is a bonding that happens between teacher and student. Peer learning through interaction. That's what. Now, when you are in the college, your peer means your own friends, your own classmates. If you have not understood, they will help you in making you understand in your own way, and that's what is peer learning. You can learn through other friends. Opportunity for 360-degree personality development. This is very important when you have a classroom training, classroom learning, because the person is not only good in his own academics. There are people who have got a lot of talents. So talents means I am a good singer, I'm good at dancer, I'm a good debater, I'm a good athlete. So this is this you can explore only when you come to the college, and that's the biggest merit that this classroom learning happens. And the last one is opportunity for extracurricular talent development. That's what I told you. You can develop your talent in any way, because there are people who are going to judge you and give you a lot of suggestions for your improvement. So these are the merits of conventional learning. Now I have talked merits means good things, advantages of conventional good things. Now there are some limitations also. Limitation is time constraint. In 45 minutes time, I need to complete this particular portion. After that, I don't know whether the students have understood or not. My 45 to 50 minutes is over, so I may not visit back the same subject again in my next class. So that is time constraint. Large group of students, difficult to address. For example, front bencher, last bencher. I think you know that. This I will club with one more here. Large group, 120 students, 150. How can you have a control, or how can you have a attention with each and every student? It's very impossible for the teacher, and even the student cannot have. For example, if a person sitting at the last, he may not have the same concentration every time. So one size fits all approach. One size fits all means today I have learned about this particular topic. As a teacher, I will come and tell you the same thing. I have told you, you have to learn. One size fits all. So I have told this way, you understand it. That's all. Now, this is what is the limitation with classroom training. Now, there is no variety in my teaching or learning. Very expensive. Many a times it is very expensive. Now, classroom training is becoming very expensive. One is the fees that you pay. The number two is commuting, means coming from your college, going back, all these, because you need to understand all sections of the society. It is getting expensive. There is no flexibility of time and place. No flexibility. You have to complete the portion during this period. You have to complete by hook or crook. That's what it is. Front bencher, last bencher disparity. Front benchers are good. Last benchers are faltu, useless. That is what is the mindset. That is a big limitation in classroom. Lack of fun learning. Sometimes there is no fun learning. There is a very serious learning. Some teachers are so very serious, they don't even want to crack a joke pertaining to the subject. So it becomes very, very difficult for the others to sit very seriously and then learn. So distractions which hamper concentration. There are different distractions in the classroom. That's what distraction, because there is a noise outside, there is a noise inside, and you may not be able to concentrating on the subject thoroughly. And the last one is unable to develop technological skills. Now, technological skills are very important going forward in our professional career. So now, if only classroom is there, I may not develop my information technology. I do not know how to operate a computer. I do not know how to write a mail. I do not know how to write an article on a spreadsheet. That's what we will be lacking behind. So these are the limitations of conventional learning, that is classroom learning. Now with this, now I have talked about this classroom. Now let me talk about the e-learning. I'm telling you, e-learning, of course, e-learning is which is happening. We call it as webucation, which has happened in the last 5 months. Education has become webucation. Webucation means the books and journals, the hard books and journals are in now desktop and palm tops. You understand palm tops? Now there is something called as you can store in one palm top 150 to 200 books, depending upon the size of the data size that you have. And in a computer, everything is stored on that. So the books and journals have found way into that desktop and laptops. E-resources serve as a platform for random access to multiple users at the same time, and plenty of time. Now, the e-resources, for example, if there is a reference, that reference can be seen by 100 people at the same time. And that is what we call it as, under one platform, random access to many people about one topic. And that is what is called as e-resource. And that is what is taking the advantage in education, that is webucation. Now, what is e-learning? The norm in education is, it is www. Now, if you don't know anything, go and type www.google.com and you get the information, yes or no? And that is what is really, really the most happening thing right now. For anything and everything, you need not have to sit quiet. I do not know. Go and start referring to books for hours together. Go and search on the www. So World Wide Web, that is www, has become our mantra today, has provided us easy access to information and knowledge. E-learning has developed is fast due to the internet. And now, if you ask me 5 years down the line, if you had asked me that I would take a class on Zoom, you would not have certainly logged on, because the net was very slow. Today, very fast, within no time, you can download hundreds of GBs on your computer. You can download any applications on your computer, and you can be there physically present through all these webinars and seminars that is happening on so that is what is fast internet. Bridges the gap between student and teacher in many ways. Of course, e-learning is bridging a lot of gaps between students and teacher. Now, this is very important. Now, my request is, please concentrate on these points. I want learning to be learner-centered. You understand? Learning. Here, I would like to tell the professors also, I'm very sorry that some places I have seen that Professors or teachers, they are the one who prepare their notes day in and day out, and then they burn the midnight oil and come and talk in the classroom for 50 minutes. For 50 minutes class, they will almost spend 3 to 4 hours. And now the same student who is going to listen to that topic is not bothered. He is sleeping happily. He comes to the class, whether he understands or not. This person has just taught, that's all. So what is the use of that? You have spent 3 to 4 hours, you came to the class, you delivered 45 minutes lecture on that subject, but out of 120 students, 70 to 80% of the students did not understand what you said. And what was the use of that? That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not teaching. If you ask me, teaching, we should not stop at teaching. We should stop at learning only. Learning means I have taught, he has understood. Now I ask him to do it again in front of me, or ask him to tell what he has or she has understood. And that is what is learner-centered. Tools are available as per the learner's needs. E-tools. Now, e-learning gives you that learning-centered education. Tools are available as per the learner. There are different tools for learner-centered, because I'm a fast learner. There will be a slow learner, and there will be one more medium learner. So for everybody, there are different tools to study or learn. The instructor adjusts to the students. That's what. For example, out of 120, he comes to know that 10 people are slow learners. He will make them away. And then those 10 students are again taught the same thing again and again through the e-learning mode. The quality of instruction is again measured against standards. The good thing, quality, how do I judge my quality as a lecturer or a professor? The moment I complete my 45 minutes lecture on the e-learning mode, at the end, I will have a small assessment like MCQs, like, objective type questions. Whatever I taught, give 5 questions at the end, ask them to tick mark. And now at the end of 50th minute, after that question, questions are answered, MCQs are answered, you will come to know if people really have scored well. You have to pat your back. Yes, I have done well. If they have not scored well, don't blame them. You have to blame yourself as a teacher or professor. Yes, I might have not done properly. Now, e-learning gives you that advantage of bettering yourself and your teaching methodology. The course is continuously renewed through feedback from the learners. Yes, this is what learner says, I'm not able to understand, this is not important. So you can adjust your course accordingly, the feedback that you get from the learners. And learner learn to access their own. Now, learner certainly have their access to their own progress. Means now you write a question paper, you write an answer paper. Now here, attempt in the classroom, you have to wait for 10 to 15 days or 1 month to get your results. Now there are softwares where you give your examination today. By the moment you complete, at the end, you will get your answers, you will get your marks, you will get your percentage. And that is what is progress. And you know that, this is what your performance is. And that is what is e-learning is doing, which will be helpful for both learners as well as the students and the teachers. Now, it's convenient. Convenient because self-service. You do not have to depend on anyone. If you have an internet, you have a laptop or a mobile, you can start, accessing it. On demand, anytime, anywhere. Now, you are not able to access that today. Now, go to that same video and access it tomorrow at your own convenient time. Private learning. Private learning is not only in your class, you will be learning outside the class as well. Self-paced, because I'm a slow learner, I want to see this again and again, go back and see again and again until you are completely aware of that subject. Flexibility, modular based, it's flexible, it's modular. Depending upon the module that they want, you can have this modular flexibility package. Reduces travel cost and time. Absolutely, there is a travel cost and time. Many a times, you may not have to come to the classroom and colleges and to learn this. At your place you can learn, and that's where it's convenient. And consistent is central control of the content. Consistent because the teacher has the control of the content. Absolutely. And nobody can meddle with the content. Same quality of content to all. If I have done a video, the same video quality goes to all the 120 students, so they will see the same quality of the education, the video. Same quality of education for all with all this. And my really advantage that I have seen in the benefits of e-learning is it builds self-confidence. In the last 5 months, I think by now you have built a lot of self-confidence in operating a computer, yes or no? 5 months back, many people did not know how to start a computer. Today, you are so well versed that you can navigate with different subjects, and that is what it builds self-confidence, and that confidence will give you a lot of confidence in your professional world, and encourages students to take responsibilities. That is very important. It is not teacher-centric; it is student-centric, because student has to take responsibility of learning. It's not the teacher who is to teach alone. That's what is important in e-learning. And now with this, I think we have seen both the world of conventional, that is classroom, and e-learning. Now just imagine after COVID, if we adopt these two, I call it as an innovative pedagogy, that is blended learning. And just imagine if the college authorities or the societies who are running the educational institution think of really adopting this. It is a wonderful thing that is going to happen in the education system in India. Blended learning is already there in the developed countries, and now COVID has given us a wonderful opportunity to adopt this blended learning. Now, let me get into what is blended learning and how we can take this blended learning. It's not easy. I'm requesting, it's not easy at all. You may say that, yes, sir, it's online or offline, whatever it is. No, it's not easy. Whatever we are doing during the COVID as an e-learning, it is only 10% of this e-learning. There is a big thing in e-learning, apart from what we have done what we have understood as part of e-learning. So let me go into the blended learning. So what is blended learning? Blended learning is a combination of classroom learning with online learning. Classroom learning with online learning. A student can, to some extent, control the pace, the time, and the place of learning. Now, it's an amazing thing. If you have a curriculum where this is classroom learning, this is e-learning, that is, digital learning, online learning, then you can demark your, the number of hours to complete your syllabus and the information that you need to give. So that is what is, blended learning is a combination of classroom. Now, let's talk about this a bit. Now, blended learning is not much innovation. It means, I told you, it's already there in our system, but we need to look at it from a different angle. My humble request to you is blended e-learning is not just, I've seen many colleges during this COVID, to them, e-learning is type a few notes of 7 pages, make it as a PDF, and then send it, make WhatsApp groups and send that notes in the WhatsApp. And that is e-learning. No, that is not e-learning. That is only a small portion of e-learning. That's all. No, that is not. And many people, they said, if they are not able to take a class, or if they could not able to complete their syllabus, now what they did is, through mail, they sent all the notes through to the students. That is not e-learning. No, that is not e-learning. That's only 0.01% of e-learning. So it's not just e-resources, but there are different methods of using these e-resources. So it's a judicious mix of both classroom and now. If blended learning is important, for what are the ingredients of blended learning? What is blended learning means? Blended means, to make you understand the word blend, when you put it into a mixer, if you want to prepare a chutney, a wonderful chutney, you have to mix all the ingredients of chutney and then mix them in a mixer. And once you blend, that's what's called a blend that happens. Once the chutney is made as a wonderful dish, you take it out and eat it, and that's what. And you know that all the ingredients were put in the right proportion, so you get the wonderful chutney. So that is exactly what is blended learning is all about. Equal amount of classroom and equal amount of online learning is what is blended learning. Now, ingredients of blended learning is face-to-face. You cannot remove face-to-face class, that is classroom learning in this world. Many people have said, now classrooms will be replaced by online or computers. No, I am of the opinion you cannot remove classroom, because if you remove classroom, then you will not have bright future for the students today, because there will be no 360-degree development of the people. So you will have to have face-to-face training. Then this is what is called as classroom. And then virtual classroom is online, a bit of online. Webinars, yes, now you are well versed with undertaking webinars and getting notes and understanding the things in webinars, because it's not only your teacher who gives you information about a subject. You can connect to any person in this world who is an expert in that. For example, economics, or example, zoology. If you're talking about a subject in zoology, and if you want to do a research going forward, now you can get connected to one of the most important research scholars scholar sitting in some other country and conduct a webinar and get the information. That is what is most important. And you get a lot of links. Links means you get links where you get a lot of information. If you get a link, you will get a lot of information. So accessing link is also there. Then simulation. Simulation means the right kind of classroom and e-learning simulation. From here to here, here to here. Jumping from here to here at the right time and jumping from here to here, that's the right kind of simulation. Now, assessment, I told you about assessment. Very easy to assess my own progress. You need not have to worry about how many marks you got. You will immediately get to know, if I've got low marks in this, certainly I have not understood the topic, I will go and read it again. So that is the assessment that happens. And most importantly is one-on-one coaching. If out of 120 students, 2-3 people have been identified as very, very poor in understanding, they can be isolated and they can have one-on-one coaching on the online platform. Teacher, there will be bonding between teacher and so that they will not be embarrassed. For example, now what is happening in classroom, 2 or 3 people, they don't understand, a few people they don't understand, and the lecturer is going to ask a question to them. If they don't understand, they get embarrassed. Embarrassed means they get sorry, and this professor is going to scold them. You don't know this, you don't know that. No, that is going to be removed if you have this e-learning or blended learning, where you can have one-on-one coaching with the teacher or the person who is going to teach you. Now, these are the ingredients of a blended learning. Now, which are the types of blended learning? I'll just quickly go through another 10 minutes, types of blended. Now, I'm going to give you around 6 types. Now, all the 6 types may not be possible to be implemented everywhere. What I'm going to try here is, these are the types, different types available. Now, depending upon the infrastructure right now you have, and depending upon the ease with which you can do, you can adopt 1 or 2 of these styles and start this blended learning in your institutions. Now, the first one is station rotation or lab rotation. The first of the blended learning types is station rotation or lab rotation. For example, in a class, we have 60 students. Now, all the 60 students are not sitting in the classroom where, there is a person who is addressing the students. Here is the lecturer, or here is the professor addressing. Now, in that 60, they have divided 20, 20, 20. Now, what they will do is 20 people are attending the classroom of this professor so that he can or she can give the equal amount of attention. Now, another 20 people, they are having a collaborative activity at their station, means in the college itself. Now, these 20 people, during this period, they will have to do these things as a collaborative activity on the same subject. On the same subject, the subject which teacher is teaching here, on the same subject, there is a collaborative activity being done by the people there. Okay, now this is where you can get involved yourself and start getting interest to know things. Now, this, of course, and the rest 20. So out of 60, 20 here, 20 here. The rest 20 are in the computer-based instruction. The same subject is being seen in the computer, means the internet, the information about this subject. Again, study about this subject. Now, what happens is, now after some time, these people come here, these people go there, and these people go. So this is a rotation. Do you understand this? This is a rotation. Now, it takes of course, it sounds really, really good, but it certainly takes a lot of, planning, because now you are ensuring you are teaching here, they are discussing the same thing, and they're also referring something which is more than what you're teaching as far as internet is concerned, and they come back here again, they give a feedback. So this is what, just imagine if this happens in the classroom or for any subject, how good it will be. And I'm damn sure if the understanding here is only 60%, here it increases by another 30% and another 15% and another 15% here. Now you have 100%, 90 to 100%, understanding of the subject. And this is what we call it as station rotation or lab rotation blended learning. And this, I think many of the institutions have adopted, and I think you can use it. The second of this blended learning is enriched virtual. Enriched virtual learning means, now there is a face-to-face in the classroom, okay, and there is a face-to-face in the laboratory, that is in the college itself. In the school, you have a classroom learning and e-learning. There is a teacher who will guide you. Now, once you go back home, you can access at your home the same thing that has been told, because these people are going to give you a lot of information to access at your home on the same subject. Now imagine this plus this already gave you some information. Now, when you go back on the same day, access everything, and then know this, your learning becomes complete. And that's where the most important thing is. So it's an enriched virtual blended learning. We call it as enriched. So this is the second type which you can follow. Some of the institutions are doing it, and I think you can also do it, whoever is thinking of doing it. Now the third one is flex blended learning. Flex means flexibility. As a learner, I have the flexibility. Students move on an individual customized schedule among the, that's what I told you, at your own pace that you can learn. One is go to the classroom, understand something. You only go to the lab, understand something. You only go to the computer, internet, go understand something, and come back and tell your teacher, this is what I've understood. And then there is a face-to-face interaction support from the teacher. And this is what is flexibility. Depending upon your interest, you can have the flex blending learning also. And the students can have the flexibility of learning of the subjects. Now, this is what we call it as flex learning. Here, you have the online the classroom learning, breakout, some students, and there is a science lab. That's what I told you, lab learning. There is a collaborative rooms, again, discussion with your own people then breakout room discussion with your instructor, or in the breakout room with your instructor, there is a group discussion. And here again, a bigger group discussion, a smaller group discussion. So this is what is called as flex blended learning. And this again, in a very, very important thing, and you need to be very, very meticulous in planning this blended learning methodology. The third one is over. The fourth one is flipped classroom. And I think many company, institutions are already adopting this. Wherever I go, because I'm attached to a couple of universities where I go and instill the skills to the students. In those universities, they have already started flipped classroom 1 year back or 1.5 years. What do you know what is flipped classroom? Flipped classroom is nothing but what happens in the classroom and what happens outside. Now, what is happening in the conventional, you listen to the lecture in the classroom, and you go out. If possible, you would see, otherwise you would not see. You would not see anything about this subject, or you would not refer any other. Even though the professor tells you that, refer this, refer that, refer this, refer that, and study this extra in the classroom, but you would not. Now, can you flip this? Can you flip means, before tomorrow I have a subject on in one of these my subjects. I have a topic tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the economy of today's economy. Okay, the effect of COVID-19 on Indian economy, which is a thing that that's one of the topics in your subject. Now, tomorrow I have a class. Today I will announce to the students that I not only announce, I will give all the information through my online method, that this is the topic I'm going to discuss, and these are the things that I would like to know that. Now, what the student will do is, before attending tomorrow's class, today they have to go through whatever has been told them to go through. Now they will go through. By the time they come to the class, they already would have understood 50 to 60%. I don't think that 100% will be understood in the classroom. I mean, by studying alone in the internet, or the e-learning mode. Now they will come to the classroom tomorrow on the same subject, because they will come with an interest, because whatever they have already discussed in their internet or e-learning will be put into practice. Now, that is what is called. Now, here lecturer is not going to take a class. It is the students who will take the class. Means they will discuss on that topic. There will be a group discussion. There will be activities pertaining to that. Now, what happens is you are empowering the student to learn more and more and understand more and more himself. Now, it happens in the classroom, but a teacher is going to not teach, he's going to facilitate the learning. Facilitate means if somebody goes wrong, he will only add on. That's all. There will not be any class taken by the teacher. That's what we call it as. I think this caption will lecture today will be replaced by activity today. Lecture today will be boring. Yes or no? Many people think that some of the lectures are very boring. But the same thing, activity today, many people will give a lot of interest. There is some activity. But to do this activity, you have to work before. The students have to work before. That is what, write an assignment of 400 words here. That is classroom, traditional one. Flip this, watch the video online, and tomorrow we are going to discuss about that video. And that is what is called as flipped classroom. So you are going to learn more. So this is already happening in many of the institutions. That is flipped classroom. Now, mastery-based blended learning, very, very important. I told you there are slow learners, there are fast learners. Now, it is most important for a teacher. All the 120 students are very important. If some teachers say that my job is over, whether they have understood or not, it's not my headache, no, then I don't think that the teacher has completed the learning process there. For a teacher, 120th student is also as important as number one student. So in blended learning, what happens is he can even take care of that 120th. For example, if I grade them 1 to 120, 120 is the most, he's a very slow learner. Now I also want him to become a master in that subject. So now I can give. So this is what is called as mastery based. This model allows students to rotate through stations. Means, for example, I'm not able to understand completely in classroom. I will go to the discussion room. There I will understand something. Now I'll go to the internet. I'll understand there. So this is where the rotation happens. Now, unlike other rotation models, students do not necessarily rotate in every station. For example, I told you in rotation, there is a pattern. In this mastery, for example, I won't directly go to from the classroom. I will go to the breakout room where 6 people are discussing. I will go and attend that discussion. Then immediately I will go and attend the internet. Somebody is accessing there. So this is how mastery. So at the end, every student should become a master of the subject or the topic which the teacher is going to teach, and rotate only to the activity schedule specified for. Again, it's very it's not easy to implement. It's not easy to implement because the institution should be meticulously planning the day's work of students as well as. But if you can adopt this is advanced one. If you can adopt this amazing way of learning things. And now the last one is self-directed. Self-directed means nobody is there to see you. I have seen some student, they know, they want to achieve big things in their life, no doubt about it. They are not confined only to the lectures that they hear in the classroom. They want to get more information by going outside and accessing them. For them, this is the best way of looking things. Self-directed blended learning. Now, for example, I am a BSc student and I want to crack my the competitive examinations. Now for that I need to go beyond my learning, classroom learning. I need to go beyond. That is where the blended learning comes. I need to establish, my goal is to achieve this. Now locate access and resources in the college. For example, access and resources, I go to the e-library, I go to the the teachers, that they are my resources. So I can access that. Now adopt executive learning activities means not only by reading, by discussion. That is different activities. For example, for one topic I want to tell that I know this topic, please listen to me. If I'm wrong, please correct me. That is what is called as discussion at breakout room. So adopt executive learning activities. Monitor and evaluate. Now you tell, sir, I have read these many number of things, now I'm going to take an assessment, you please assess me on this. Again, online assessment that happens. Again, you are self-learning. And reassess learning strategies. So what I'm trying to tell here is this is completely based on the student. If students want to really excel themselves, the institution will give a lot of infrastructure to them. Because a teacher who, I have not seen a teacher even today, if a student comes, sir, I have not understood, please explain this, because that is important. The teacher is very, very happy to explain it again and again. If somebody is really unhappy, then he or she is unfit to be a teacher. But I have not seen any teacher so far that if some student interestingly comes and asks, sir, I have not understood, please tell me this, then a teacher. So that's the reason why self-directed blended learning is very important for the people who want to excel themselves in their professional world and know more things. Because there are no set goals there. They have to set the goals. They have to set the assessment, and only people will help them from outside. That's what is blended learning. So these are the 6 blended learning. I think these 6 blended learning methodology that we have. If you adopt at least one, you can start making people or student learn better. And now this is what I told you: teacher instruction, peer-to-peer means my own friend, project learning, project-based tech integration, internet, virtual learning, again online, community-based. You can go into the community and learn about the same subject. Global connections, because you can connect to anyone in the globe of the expert in that area, and you can connect and then learn from them. Essentials from this, the most important that thing that happens with blended learning is you will improve your communication skills. You will improve your self-confidence, your writing skills. You will improve your team skills. You will improve your time management. You will improve your assertiveness. And at the end, you will improve your personality as a whole. And this is what is very important for us to improve the essential skills that we have through blended learning. So this is where the blended learning gives you a 360 or wholesome learning process with all these ingredients into that. And now again and again, it is not teacher centric, it is student centric. Now student is important in learning, teacher is a facilitator. Don't teach, don't preach. My request, because in Ariwood is the skill development, we don't teach, we don't preach. Teaching is only one, preaching means we only preach, many times we don't practice. You have to come on time. Huh? If you are late by 1 minute, you will not be allowed in the classroom. And the same person visits the class 10 minutes late. So how do I, it's only preaching, it's not practicing. So it should be a student learn centric, means I need to make the student learn, that is facilitate his learning. So there is a positive, if a student learning happens, there is a positive relationship that develops, positivity develops in the student. There is a foundation that is laid, which is a need based foundation. And there is positive identity of the student in the society, because if the student of JT College Gadag comes out with wholesome 360-degree learning process, this person is wanted in the professional world. So that is where positive identity will be there. Then student ownership, and it's mainly student who will own the learning rather than teacher insisting them learn this, learn that. And real world experience, because they are not only learning what is happening in Gadag, they are learning on the same subject what is happening worldwide, sitting in their place. And competency based, you will compete. I mean, competency means your competency level will go up, your e-learning competency will go up, and anytime, anywhere. That is most important. Anytime, anywhere, the learning that happens. So now, if as a student, if you get this kind of learning, if I was a student, I would grab it immediately. And my request to the people who are concerned is, please think about adopting a couple of these, or at least few of these blended learning. Now, who are important to this? Now I told everything is good, and many people would be telling, sir, it's all good on paper, on the presentation, but in practical, it is not going to happen. Yes, it's not going to happen unless we change your mind that it can happen. It may not happen, but there are certain tips which, you can make it happen. Start small. Don't take everything at a time. Start small. Stay small means take one blended activity, blended learning method, and start adopting for this 1 to 2 months or 3 months, whatever. Don't lose patience, because this requires a lot of patience, and especially for the teachers and the students. Learning is not one-time affair. Learning is a continuous affair. So most of the people who are in the teaching profession, they should have a lot of patience. Till the time the student learns, they should be really giving them the learning. So you should not lose patience. Technology should not be just an add-on. I told you, add-on, it should not be just add-on. No, e-learning means sending notes through WhatsApp, or sending a class video through WhatsApp. No, that's only a 0.1%. Technology should not be just an add-on. Technology should be a most important part of it. That's what we discussed. Recognize the value of online discussion. So we should recognize the value of online discussion, not only classroom discussion, and keep yourself updated regarding online resources. You need to, my humble request is, everyone, teachers, today's students are Gen X and Gen Y, means they're already now, for example, if the child is born today, it's born with a mobile and, inside. It comes up with the mobile, playing with the mobile. That's what is the generation X, Y, Z we are calling it. Now, for all the generations, because they're the teachers of the generation, old generation, like, those who are in their 40s and 50s, they consider, the students consider them as a very old gen. No, age should not be a barrier. Age is just a number. If I have a mindset of learning, I need to adopt to all the resources, online resources, or I need to learn all the resources myself and then teach them or make them learn. So we need to keep updated on the resources that are available online. I'm addressing mainly to the teachers here. So we need to be updated on all the online resources that we have. Now, the last 3 slides I'm going to talk about. We need to build a culture. It's not easy. It's not easy. A culture has to be built in the institution. It's not that, today I have done for 1 hour session on this, and from tomorrow it's going to happen. You need to have that culture. To have this culture means ongoing process. This is the culture. Once the culture is developed, then nobody would stop it. Now, to have this culture, who are the 3 most important stakeholders? We call them as 3 most important people. The stakeholders are learner. I'm talking about students, a teacher, who's going to teach, and the administrators are very important. Administrator means these are the people who will make a conducive atmosphere, of a conducive atmosphere to make the learning fruitful and make the learning happening. So administrators are. So now let us see what are their roles. Now, a student should be self-directed. Nobody should make him go to the college, learn this. He should be he should be really thrilled to come to the college, because today I'm going to learn this, because I need to enrich my knowledge. This is self-directed, self-motivated. Teachers need not have to talk about attendance shortage. Automatically, if you have the best of the learning methodologies with you, take it from me, people will spend more time in classroom rather than anything else. So self-motivated, that's what the learner should have. You should have self-motivation. And self-regulating means nobody should be pushing you, do this, do that. You should be doing on your own. Then only you can learn. You can be a part of this learning culture. Otherwise, you cannot be a part of the learning culture. And lifelong learning, student should think, because I'm a student, the moment I think that I have learned enough, that's the end of my life. So if somebody tells me, so I have learned enough everything, then that's the last day of, because learning happens till the last breath of our life. So lifelong learning, that's what a student should always think about. So this is the responsibility of the student that he should do, as far if they want the blended culture. And now, what is the teacher should do? Very, very important. My humble request to the teachers is, please do not blame the students if they don't really do well. I need to introspect myself. Out of 120, if 110 people do well, then there is some problem with those only 10 people. Okay, I can handle. Don't leave them, handle them. Help them. Instead, out of 120, if only 60 people are good and 60 people have not done well, then I need to introspect myself. Don't blame the student there. Now, I need to hone the skills. The most important skills that a teacher should have, of course, is the presentation skills. I don't want to dwell too much, because then itself is a big thing. In presentation, the more you do, because either a classroom or a e-learning, which is called as blended learning, you need to have presentation skills. So if you don't have presentation skills, you will not be reaching to the students. However, you spend 50, 60, 70 hours with the students, you will not make them understand what they have to learn. So you need to have the skills, mainly the presentation skills and the skill of assertiveness. Familiarize with the virtual. My request to now I heard, I think in one of the institutions when I went there, some of them, they said, I'm going to retire in another 2 years' time. Why should I bother about all these? Virtual means online, internet-based e-learning. Virtual means in. Now, why should I? I'm going, no. You will be doing a biggest disservice to the education. Even though it is my last day, I need to keep abreast with the newer happenings in the virtual classroom. I should be learning newer things in classroom. This online teaching. For us, especially who are in the age group of 40s, or now who are people who are in the age of 50s, it's very difficult now. We give the excuse that I don't know this, I don't know that, and I'll take the help of someone else to do my job. Now, how long you are going to take the help? Now you start doing yourself. I'm telling you very frankly that I was not doing anything about this computer and everything. I sat with it every day for minimum 2 to 3 hours, and now I have learned 60 to 70% of how to operate. That's what. So that's how you can learn the virtual classroom methodologies also. So my request to the teachers is, please update yourself with the online classroom teaching also. Don't reuse the classroom. For example, I have seen you do you do a class of 45 minutes in the classroom, the same thing, send a notes, and that is not. This is reusing the same notes. And I have seen some colleges, the same notes being used for years together. This notes was used by 5 years back, the final year student, and now again the same notes is being circulated through WhatsApp or mails. So this is don't reuse the same curriculum. Understand learning and its needs. Very, very important. The teacher has to understand the need of the learning, and don't teach, facilitate the learning. Make them do it. That's what in Arivu we do. We don't teach, we don't preach, we do make them practice, or make them do it, and then let them learn and create learning opportunities for people. And these are the responsibilities of this stakeholder, that is a teacher. And now the last of the stakeholder, that is, I want the administrator. This infrastructure is very important. It might cost now. Yes, it is not easy. It is expensive, no doubt about it. But if you invest today, you are investing for tomorrow for a better. For example, JT College Gadag is known only in few places. Tomorrow, it has increases infrastructure as far as blended learning is concerned, I'm damn sure people sitting in the other cities of the country, they know JT College has got this, because the people who come out of JT College Gadag will be having something different, the amazing knowledge than any other who are not following this. So you need to have infrastructure, you need to have e-labs, you need to have breakthrough rooms, collaborative rooms. This is what is, and the ICT, that's what, we call it as ICT infrastructure. Learning environment has to be all teachers should come together and sing the same song. That is, yes, it will happen, it can happen, and we'll make it happen. Out of the 10 teachers, 8 teachers think that it will happen. Even if 2 teachers do not think that it's not going to happen, then you are not going to create a learning environment. Take it from me. I want all the teachers, and the people there, the administrators. Now, the fascinating fact is, students want, teachers want, but the administrators think of no, it's not useful. So that's the reason why I'm addressing the administrators. Create an atmosphere where all these things will be happening, and resources for lifelong learning should be provided. So these are the 3 stakeholders. Now, so these are the 3 stakeholders. My request is learner, teacher, student, teacher, and administrator, who are really important for blended learning culture. And once you create this culture, no looking back at all. So you can do it on a yearly basis. Now that's what, and this is what I wanted to talk about, this blended learning. And I think in the last, I'm extremely sorry that I have taken almost 1 hour, more than 1 hour 10 minutes, but I thought that it is important to touch upon one of the most important learning processes that we should adopt in the coming month, because this is the time is very conducive for us. Why it is conducive? Because we have already experienced the classroom learning, and we have experienced in the last 5 months how important it is e-learning. Now mixed together, and now going forward, the learning will be amazing through blended learning. So my request to you is, please adopt a few of these blended learning methodologies in your institutions, and certainly it's going to help you, the students, and you will get a lot of students interested in doing many things. So I thank the organizers again, the KLE Society's JT College Gadag, for taking up this very important topic and discussing today. And I think I have reached to some extent those 30% of the people who thought only classroom learning is good rather than digital learning. Now I have addressed both digital as well as classroom, and now blended learning, blended. So tomorrow when you think of blended learning, and you start yourself as students and teachers, and damn sure the administrators will help you in doing it. So thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity, and I hope I have today I have reached a few of you to enrich something on this. What I've covered is only 10 to 15% of it, because once you really want a complete thorough knowledge about blended learning, it's a vast subject. I've just touched upon only a few points. Now if possible, if sometimes in future we can think of how we can really adopt this in the college. We are helping, in fact, many institutions to adopt this. And if you think that yes, it can be adopted, think about us. We will come and help you out and make you aware and help you out how to unfold these methodologies. So thank you very much and all the best. And if you have any questions, or now I'll go give it back to the host or the organizers. And if any questions are there, I can get the questions. I'll answer the questions. Thank you very much. Over to the host. Thank you.
Dear participants, if any queries, please put it in the chat box.
Yeah. Yeah, if there are no questions, I think everyone has, either there are two things. Everyone has understood everything. Everyone has understood nothing. Anyway, that's on the lighter side.
Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Yeah.
sir.
Any questions?
Yeah. Yes, sir. This is Bina Arif from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
I have attended your whole session, and I must admit that you have explained it very clear to the point. the crisp idea of blended learning. I really appreciate. Actually, I don't have any question. Just wanted to share my view about the webinar. It
Okay.
was really wonderful. You have done to an extent a wonderful job. Sir,
Thank you.
you can forward your PPT to the email ID. Your
Certainly.
PPT was really wonderful. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, we
Certainly.
have adopted this blended learning, especially you can say the flipped learning.
Okay.
Learning
Okay. Okay.
continued in our
Yeah.
classes through
Yes.
Zoom.
Okay.
Zoom classes. What we do is on WhatsApp, we provide the videos on the next day. We
Okay.
and discuss the question and answer, and regarding to the topic we have provided. So
Okay.
it was really a wonderful session. It has add on my knowledge, all your points. Thank you very much, sir, from Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia. Very much,
My
sir.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much for your words, kind words. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Over to the organizers.
Hello.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views regarding the benefits of digital learning, which is replacing our traditional methods more and more each day. Learning tools and technology enable the students to develop effective self-directed learning skills. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor VP Kanvi sir to present vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Professor Vinayak P. Kanavi, lecturer in Department of Geology, JT College, Gadag. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this national level webinar on blend of digital learning and classroom for learning of symbiotic effect organized by Department of Geology. Firstly, I thank today's resource person of this webinar, Sri H.V. Vishwesh, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank members of Board of Management, KLE Society, Belgavi, and LGB members. I thank our principal, Professor P.G. Patil, sir, for providing encouragement and support. I also thank Dr. G.K. Ramesh, IQAC coordinator. I am very grateful to our HOD, Professor H. Yamanappa, sir, for giving us an opportunity to organize this webinar, and also thank all the participants of across country and also other country. I also thank Miss Soumya Chenny Madam for conducting the Master of Ceremony. And I also thank all the members of JT Parivar who supported directly and indirectly to make this webinar a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Okay. Thank you. Can we leave now? Please end the meeting.
Dear participants, the feedback link will be sent to the WhatsApp group as well as in the YouTube. And also in the chat box. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please end the meeting, okay, so that the host will go off. Thank you.
WhatsApp group like share madeni. Sir, YouTube ದಾಗ ಹೆಂಗ್ share ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು?
Comment ಓಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಪಸ್ ಯಮನಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ಹಿಂದಿ ಒಂದು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ನೀವಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ನೀವಲ್ಲ
ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕುತ್ತೆ
Hello. 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 Sir, please end the meeting, sir.